Hello and welcome. In this video, we are solving actual previous year question on time, speed and distance from Meghalaya State Exam. Now this topic appear in almost like every single department paper. Now to show you how important or critical this is, the question we are solving today are taken directly from the recent paper across various Meghalaya board, including the lower division, like Sub-Inspector of Statistic, Motor Vehicle Inspector, Inspector of Housing, and Dairy Officer. Now, to make your revision highly efficient, I have categorized these questions strictly by difficulty, starting with basic like fundamentals and moving up to the intermediate, advanced, relative speed. Now, similar types are grouped together so you can spot the pattern easily. That's the goal, spotting pattern. Now, with that being said, let's get started with the level 1 of the fundamentals. Hey everyone, if any part of this explanation felt a bit confusing or wasn't completely clear, please drop a comment below. Your learning time is super valuable and I want to make sure these videos are actually helpful. So let me know what I can change, how can I improve, or if you spot any mistake. Your feedback helps me make better content for you. With that being said, enjoy the video. Now let's take a look at our first question. It says that Amit covers a distance at a speed of 24 km/h in 6 minutes. Now, if Amit want to cover the same distance in 8 minutes, so what should be his speed? So the question is asking us to find the speed of Amit. So I can write here speed equal unknown because we don't know. What option is given? Is it option A, which is 18, 21, 30, or 15 km/h? In order to be able to solve this question, we need to know the formula. So the formula will look something like this, which is speed. If we want to find the speed, we can use this formula, which is speed equal, I can write here S equal distance over time. If the question is asking to find the distance, I can use this second formula, which is distance equal speed multiply time. I can just bring S to the other side, so that will be multiplication. And if the question is asking to find about time, so I can write time equal distance over speed. So this is the first formula, the second, and the third. So from the question given, I can write here given. So Amit covers a distance at a speed. So speed is given, which is 24 km/h in 6 minutes. Time is also given, which is in minute, which is 6 minutes. What we don't have is a distance. So distance. Now from the formula, now if you take a look at the formula, in order to find a distance, I can use distance equals speed multiply time. So I can write here distance equal speed multiply time. So speed is already given, which is 24 km/h multiply. You'll be tempted to just multiply the value, but you need to be very careful with the unit because the speed here is given in km/h, whereas time is in minute. So we need to convert them in the same unit, which is, so minute, here 6 minutes will be converted into hour. So how do we do that? Whenever we're dealing with time, we need to know the golden rule of time. So let me show you with an example. Whenever we try to convert from the bigger unit, right here, to the smaller unit, we multiply. And whenever we try to convert from the smaller unit to the bigger unit, we simply divide those value. For example, if I say, let's say here, we know that 1 hour, I can write here 1 hour equal 60 minutes. Why? Because I multiply them. In order to convert it, I can write here 1 hour multiply 60 minutes. That would give me 60 minutes. Now 2 hour, I can write 2 hour times 60 minutes will be 120 minutes. 120 minutes. For example, if I want to convert days into hour, for example, in this case, we have 3 days. Let me write it down. We have 3 days. I need to multiply with hour. That will give me 72 hours. If I want to convert hour, which is 72 hours, into minute, I need to multiply it with the minute, which is 60 minutes. That would give me 4,320 minutes. So hour became minute. If I want to convert minute into second, which is simple, 4,320 minutes multiply 60 second. That would give me 2,059 and 200 second. and so on and so forth. Now, if I want to convert, in this case, from the smaller unit, let me change the color to green. From smaller unit to bigger unit, I need to divide. In this case, if I want to convert 1 minute to hour, I need to divide them. So let me write 1 divided by 60. That will give me 0.0166 hour. Same case with the hour. 1 hour divided by 24, we get 0.041 days. So as you can see, whenever you try to convert smaller unit, which is minute, to the bigger unit, which is hour, we always divide. Now, if we take a look at our question, we are trying to convert minute to hour. So minute here is smaller than hour. So we will use division. So let me do that. 6 minutes divided by 60, that would give me 0.1 hour. So I can write here 0.1 hour. If I multiply this, I get a distance out 2.4 kilometer. Because hour cancel, I'm left with 2.4 kilometer. Now let's move on to the next part of the question. Now the same distance, which is 2.4, must be covered in 8 minutes. As you can see, Amit here need to cover the same distance, which is 2.4, which we know, in 8 minutes. So what should be his speed? So we need to find the speed. Let me give it a different color. Speed. So we need to know the formula speed. If I take a look at the formula, it is speed equal distance divided by time. So distance we already know, which is 2.4, but time here is in 8 minutes. Time is in 8 minutes. So we know that whenever we try to convert from smaller unit, which is 8 minutes, to hour, we need to divide. So I can write 8 divided by 60. That would equal to, I can write 4 2s are 8, 4 1s are 4, 5s are 20. So I get 2.2 over 5. I can write it here, 2 over 15. So speed equal 2.4. Whenever we have multiple fraction, I can simply flip the value. Whenever I do that, this division, as you can see, would change into multiplication. It will look something like this, 2.4 over 1, which we don't keep. So here would change to multiplication. And 15, the denominator will go up. That would be 15 over 2. I'm flipping the value, so the sign also change. If we do this, this is much simple. So we know that 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4. So that equal to 1.2 multiply 15. Now speed, if we multiply this, I get 18 kilometer per hour. So we know that Amit, so in order to reach the same distance, which is 2.4, in 8 minutes, he need to cover a speed of 18 kilometer per hour. Now if you take a look at our option, we see that option A is the correct answer, which is 18. Whenever you come across these type of question, where it's asking us to find the speed, and if their distance is the same, meaning the first part of the question, it says the distance 1 equal to distance 2, as you could see, it covers the same distance, then we can use this formula, which is new speed, because we were trying to find the new speed, equal our old speed, which is 24 kilometer per hour, times our old time, which is 6 minutes, over new time, which is 8 minutes. Now if we plug this value into our formula, we have old speed, which we know is 24 kilometer per hour, times our old time is 6 minutes, over our new time, which is 8 minutes. A minute would be cancelled. Now that would give me, if you simplify this, that would give me 18 kilometer per hour, which is the same answer as the first method that we use, which is option A, which is 18 kilometer per hour. So this method is much faster and quicker than the old one, so I would recommend you to use this approach. And be mindful, you can only use this method if the distance are the same. If the distance are not the same, then this formula will not work. So that is something you need to be mindful. Now let's move on to the next question. This question is taken from the Sub-Inspector of Statistics under the Directorate of Economics and Statistics paper. Now let's take a look at the question. Which of the following is the slowest? Now this question is asking about the speed. So among the four options, which among them is the slowest? Is it option A, which is 25 meter per second, option B, 1500 meter per minute, 90 kilometer per hour, or 100 meter per hour? Now, in order to solve this question, I want to convert their unit into one single unit. In my case, it will be meter per second. So option A, I would not change anything because it's already in meter per second. Option B, it says it's 1500 meter, but in this case, it's minute. Now I need to change minute to second, so it will be meter per second. So I know that minute, 1 minute, let me write it here. 1 minute equal 60 seconds. So whenever I try to change from the bigger unit to a smaller unit, I need to multiply. So it will be 1 times 60, that would give me 60 seconds. So it will be 1500 over 60 seconds. So this one will be off and this will be meter per second. Now if I simplify this, I get 25 meter per second. As you can see, option A and option B are both equal to 25 meter per second. So this is not the answer. Let's move on to option C, which is 90 kilometer per hour. Now I need to convert this 90 kilometer per hour into meter per second. So I know that 1 kilometer equal to 1000 meter and 1 hour equal to 60 minute and 60 minute equal to 60 seconds. So I need to multiply those values to get to the hour. So that would give me 1000 meter 60 minute times 60 second. That will be 36. There are 2 zeros, so I'm going to keep 2 0. That will be second. So I have 1000 meter over 3600 second. Now, as I simplify this fraction, I get 5 divided by 18. I can write that down here. 90 times 5 divided by 18 meter by second. So 18, 1 will be 18. 18, 5 would be 90. So 5 times 5 would give me 25 meter per second. So option C is also similar to both option A and option B. So now let's check option D, which is 100 meter per hour. So I have 100 meter per hour. I need to change this unit into meter over second. So I already know that 1 hour equal to 3600 seconds. Why? Because 60 minutes times 60 seconds would equal to 3600 seconds. The reason I multiply it, I already told you, because we're moving from the bigger unit to a smaller unit, that is hour to second, so I need to multiply them. So it will be 1000 or 100, my bad. So it will be 100 meter over 3600 second. If I simplify this, I get 1 over 36. That would be an approximation of 0.027 meter per second. So as you can see, option D is the slowest speed among the four options. So we can say that option D is a correct answer, which is 100 meter per hour. Now let's move on to the next question. A man walking at the rate of 5 km per hour. He crosses the bridge in like 15 minutes. So we need to find the length or the distance of the bridge, that too in meters. Is it option A, option B, option C, or option D? Now this question is taken from the Sub-Inspector Statistic under the Directorate of Economic paper. Now let's solve this question. From the question, a man, he walked at the rate of 5 km per hour. So we're given the man's speed is in 5 km per hour. Now he crosses the bridge in like 15 minutes. So time is given. Time is in 15 minutes. So it took the man 15 minutes to cross the bridge with a speed of 5 km per hour. So we need to find the length or the distance of the bridge, that too in meters. So the unit should be in meters, not kilometers, but in meters. In order to solve this question, we will use this formula, which is distance, because we need to find the distance of the bridge, that too in meters. We'll use this formula, which is distance. So I'm gonna say distance equal speed multiply time. So distance equal, if we plug in the value, we know that our speed is in 5 km per hour multiply with our time, which is in 15 minutes. But be mindful, the unit is different because it's in minute, but the speed is in kilometer per hour. So I need to convert this time, which is in minute, into hour. So whenever we try to convert from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, meaning from minute here is a smaller unit and hour is a bigger unit, we need to divide. So it will be 15 over hour here is 60 minutes. So 1 hour equal 60 minutes. Now that would give me 15 ones are 15, 15 fours are 60. So it'll be 1/4 hour. hour. So it'll be 1 over 4. Or distance equal 5 times 1 over 4. That will give me a distance of 1.25 kilometer, because hour cancel, so I'm left with kilometer, which is a distance. But from the question, it's asking us the unit in meter, not kilometer, but in meter. So we need to convert this 1.2 kilometer into meter. How do we do that? So we need to change the unit. So whenever we try to change the unit from a bigger unit to the smaller unit, we need to multiply them. I hope you remember, because kilometer here is a bigger unit and meter here is a smaller unit, so we need to multiply them. So we know that 1 kilometer equal 1000 meter. So all I need to do is 1.2 kilometer from our answer, this one distance that we have, I need to multiply it with our meter. That would give me 1250 meters. So if we take a look at our option, we see that option D is the correct answer, which is 1250 meters. So let's revise the question. A man here, you walk at the rate of 5 km per hour, which is his speed, and he crosses the bridge in like 15 minutes. So we need to find the length of the bridge, that too in meters. So we're given 4 options. So speed is given, time is given. All we need to do is use this formula, which is distance equal speed multiplied time. But before we do that, we need to change the unit, because we need to make them into a one single unit, which is kilometer per hour. So our time, which is in minute, we need to convert them. So whenever we try to convert from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, we need to divide. So when I do that, I get 1/4. So I can multiply 5 times 1 over 4. That will give me 1.25 kilometer. But now I need to convert this kilometer into meter. How do we do that? Well, I simply multiply, because whenever we try to change the unit from this bigger unit to a smaller unit, I need to multiply. So we know that 1 kilometer equal 1000 meter. So if I multiply them, if I multiply my answer, meaning 1.25 times 1000, that will give me the answer of 1250 meters, which is option D. I hope you're clear with this question. Now let's move on to the next question. which is question number 4, that is speed ratio. Now this question is taken from the same paper, which is Sub-Inspector Statistic under the Directorate of Economic and Statistic paper. Now let's try to solve this question. The ratio between the speed of two trains is 7:8. So this question deals with ratio. We have two trains, so let me write train 1 and train 2. Now the ratio is given, which is 7:8. The second train, this one, runs 400 kilometers in like 4 hours. So the distance, it covers 400 kilometers in 4 hours. Then we need to find the speed of the first train. So from the question, we need to find the speed, which we don't know, of the first train. So for option given, is it 70, is it 75, 84, 87.5 kilometer per hour? Now in order to find that, we need to know the formula in order to find the speed of the second train. So we already have the value of the distance and time, so we need to find the speed of the second train. I hope you still remember the formula to find the speed, which is speed equal distance over time. So from the question given, we have distance equal 400 kilometer from the question, and time is given, which is 4 hours. Now we can use the formula, which is speed equal distance over time. So we know that distance is 400 and time is 4 hours. Now we do not need to change their unit because it's already in kilometer per hour. If we simplify this, I get 100 kilometer per hour. So train 2, the speed is going at 100 kilometer per hour. Now whenever we're dealing with ratio, we are dealing with parts. So whenever we're working with ratio, we are basically dealing with parts, or we need to find the whole value. We're dealing with parts or whole value. In this case, we're dealing with speed, and ratio is given 7:8, which are part of their speed. And we already know the speed of the second train, which is 100. 100 here represent the whole value or the whole speed of the train. We need to find single part of the second train. How do we do that? We simply divide to find the single part, divide with the 8 ratio of the second train. That would give me 12.5 kilometer per hour. So we know that one single part of the second train or the speed is going 12.5 kilometer. If I multiply it with our whole total value of parts of 8, that will give me a whole value of 100 kilometer per hour. And with that understanding, we simply need to multiply this single part of 12.5 to our first train to get the whole value or the speed of the first train. So we simply multiply 12.5 kilometer times 7. That will give me 87.5 kilometer per hour. So this is the speed of the second train. If you take a look at the option, we see that option D here is the correct answer, which is 87.5 kilometer per hour. So the first train is going at a speed of 87.5 kilometer. The second train is going at a speed of, let me write here, speed of 100 kilometer per hour. Now whenever we're dealing with ratio, we're dealing with parts, single individual parts. So if we know the value of the second train, we can find the speed of the first train. Now let's start with an example. Give you another example. Imagine you and your friend go on a shop and you wanted to buy ice cream. And in the list, it says that 1 kilogram of ice cream, it costs around 500 rupees. Now there's a big sale and many people bought the ice cream, so there's not much left. When you go and buy the ice cream, the sellers tell you that there's only 300 grams of ice cream left. I hope you know that 1 kilogram equal to 1000 grams. So from 1000, you only have 300 grams. You know the price of 1,000 gram, which is 1 kilogram, which is 500. But you don't know the price of the ice cream that you bought, which is 300 gram. So how do we do that? This problem also involves ratio. Now, if I divide this 1,000 with 300, that will give me a ratio of 10 over 3. So it's a ratio of 3 over 10. It basically represents the parts. So in order to get the price of the ice cream that you bought, which is 300 gram, we simply divide this 500 rupees. In our train example, it's actually speed, but in this case, it's actually the cost or the money involved. So I could write here 500, which is our rupees, over 10, which is our ratio. So that would give me 50. So 50 here represent single part. So I need to multiply it with my ratio, which is 3, this value, to get the whole value. So 3 times 50, that would give me 150 rupees. So the 300 gram costs around 150 rupees. Now this problem is somewhat similar to the train problem, but in this case, we're not dealing with speed, we're dealing with commodity and their price. Depending on how much there is, their price changed. So we need to find that. Now in this video, we're only going to cover from question number 1 to question number 4 because it is taking too long. And the next video, we will continue with level 2, that is standard application. That is question 5, 6, and so on. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.